The Healthcare Security Ordinance of San Francisco, also known as the Hcso, was implemented in 2006. The ordinance is designed to make sure that employees working within the boundaries of the city of San Francisco have access to healthcare. How do they do that? Well, San Francisco requires companies that have employees working within the city to pay a flat dollar amount per hour each employee works towards an irrevocable healthcare expenditure. This means that the money the employer spends cannot be taken back by the employer. It essentially belongs to the employee. Acceptable expenditures are health insurance premiums that the employer pays on behalf of the employees, or funding a medical reimbursement account, or MRA. What employers are subject to the Hcso? Any company with 20 or more employees across the globe with at least one employee working 8 or more hours per week on average in San Francisco are subject to the Hcso. For nonprofit organizations, the employee number is 50 across the globe. The people included in this count are all employees, full and part-time, seasonal or temporary, and 1099 contractors. This applies to companies that are not necessarily headquartered nor have any offices in San Francisco. They could simply be doing business in the city or have employees working from home in San Francisco. Determining if an employer is subject to the Hcso is done on a quarterly basis. For example, an employer could be subject to the Hcso for only 2 quarters out of the year if they have seasonal workers that increases their number of employees during 6 months out of the year. The required spending amount is only for those hours employees work in the city of San Francisco. For example, if a company has 30 employees company-wide, but only 5 work at an office in San Francisco, the employer only has to make Hcso expenditures for those 5 employees. If a driver makes deliveries around the Bay Area and works 15 hours per week in San Francisco, the company only has to make those expenditures for the 15 hours per week they are in the city. How much is the required expenditure? For 2023, smaller companies with 20 to 99 or nonprofits with 50 or more employees, the expenditure is $2.27 per hour, or $390.44 per month for employees working full-time. For employees of larger companies with 100-plus employees, the expenditure is $3.40 per hour, or $584.80 per month for employees working full-time in the city. Are any employees exempt from this requirement? Yes, owners are exempt, and employees who make more than $114,141 in 2023 and who are in a managerial or supervisory position where they make specific decisions about the workforce, such as rulemaking, hiring, and terminations. An employee can also voluntarily revoke their Hcso rights if they have health insurance from another source, such as through their spouse or Medicare. The employee cannot be encouraged or coerced into signing the waiver. It can be revoked by the employee at any time, and they must sign the waiver on an annual basis. What else does an employer need to do to comply with the Hcso? Any employer subject to the Hcso must post the required posting notifying employees about the Hcso, and their rights must be posted in the workplace. Employers are also required to deposit the expenditures for hours worked every quarter into the MRA funds administered by the city. If an employer meets the expenditure requirements solely by paying for health insurance premiums, they need to complete the annual Hcso report that is due annually at the end of April. For those using the MRA to meet the requirements, or a combination of the MRA and health insurance, they are also required to complete the annual report. Employers are also required to maintain records of their Hcso expenditures, employee records, and annual reports in the event an officer from the city conducts an audit for compliance with the ordinance. If you have further questions about the Hcso and what your business may need to do to be in compliance, call us at 650-348-6234.